Most people don't quit gardening because they hate growing food. They quit because they're growing the wrong crops. Plants that demand constant watering, constant replanting, and constant attention. Miss a few hot summer days, and your harvest can disappear fast. But smart gardeners play a different game. Instead of growing vegetables that drain their time, they grow crops that keep producing with surprisingly little effort, sometimes for years after a single planting. In this video, we're counting down 5 of the highest yield, lowest maintenance vegetables you can grow at home. One of them can produce over 17 pounds from a single plant, and another literally replants itself. These rankings are based on 5 key factors: yield, drought tolerance, pest resistance, maintenance needs, and beginner friendliness. These aren't just easy vegetables, they're some of the most efficient food producers you can grow. Number 5, perennial wild arugula. Most salad greens have one major weakness: they hate summer. Once temperatures rise, lettuce bolts, spinach turns bitter, and regular arugula often gives up completely. That's exactly why perennial wild arugula earns a spot on this list. Unlike standard arugula, this tougher cousin actually thrives in heat. Instead of collapsing during hot weather, it keeps producing peppery, flavorful leaves from spring through late fall. And once it's established, it becomes incredibly hard to kill. What makes this plant special is its deep taproot. While shallow-rooted greens dry out fast, wild arugula pulls moisture from deeper soil layers, allowing it to survive long dry spells with very little watering. And it gets even better. This plant doesn't demand perfect soil. Rocky soil, poor soil, sandy ground. It can still perform surprisingly well. That makes it ideal for gardeners dealing with difficult growing conditions where other greens struggle. In practical terms, this means less babysitting. You're not constantly watering, you're not constantly replanting, and you're not fighting endless pest problems. Once mature, the plant forms dense clumps that naturally crowd out weeds, reducing maintenance even more. Harvest is simple too. Just snip the outer leaves and let the center keep growing. Gardeners call this cut and come again, and wild arugula does it exceptionally well. In as little as 40 to 50 days, you can begin harvesting leaves, and a single plant can keep supplying fresh greens for months. Of course, it's not perfect. Its biggest weakness is poor drainage. If the roots sit in soggy soil for too long, performance drops fast. But in well-drained soil, this plant is incredibly forgiving, even for beginners. And while wild arugula is impressively tough, the next vegetable on this list is on a completely different level. It can survive for over a decade, and one part of it can actually be toxic if you eat the wrong piece. Number 4, rhubarb. Rhubarb is one of the strangest vegetables on this list because most people don't even think of it as a vegetable. They think of pies, desserts, and jam. But from a survival gardening perspective, rhubarb is a powerhouse. Once established, a single rhubarb plant can remain productive in the same spot for 10 to 15 years with surprisingly little maintenance. That means one planting can reward you with harvests for over a decade. That alone makes it impressive. But what really earns rhubarb its place on this list is how efficiently it grows. Its massive leaves create a dense canopy that naturally shades out weeds, which means less competition and less work for you. Instead of constantly pulling weeds around the plant, rhubarb eventually does much of that job on its own. It also develops a deep, fibrous root system that stores water efficiently. That stored energy helps the plant survive dry periods better than many gardeners expect. And in the right climate, rhubarb can become incredibly resilient. In fact, one unmanaged rhubarb plant in Anchorage, Alaska, reportedly thrived for years without fertilizer, watering, or active care. It simply kept returning season after season. That's the kind of reliability most gardeners want. But there's something important you need to know. Not all parts of rhubarb are safe to eat. This is where many beginners make a dangerous mistake. The thick stalks are edible and widely used in cooking. The leaves are not. Rhubarb leaves contain high levels of oxalic acid, which can be toxic if consumed in large amounts and may cause serious health problems. So if you grow rhubarb, remember this rule. Harvest the stalks, never eat the leaves. There's one more catch. Rhubarb loves cold winters and cooler climates. If you live in hotter southern regions, especially above USDA Zone 8, extreme summer heat can stress the plant and increase the risk of crown rot. So while rhubarb is highly productive, location matters. Give it cool winters, decent drainage, and basic care, and it can reward you with 3 to 5 pounds of harvest from a single plant each season. Pretty impressive. But the next plant doesn't just survive year after year. It does something that sounds almost impossible. It literally replants itself by walking across your garden. Number 3. Egyptian walking onion. At first glance, this plant looks like a normal onion. It's not. Egyptian walking onion is one of the most unusual edible plants you can grow because it solves one of gardening's biggest problems entirely on its own: replanting. Here's why it's called a walking onion. Instead of producing seeds like most onions, this plant grows clusters of tiny bulbils at the top of its stalk. As those bulbils mature, they get heavier and heavier until the stalk can no longer support them. Eventually, the stalk bends. Then it falls to the ground. And when those bulbils touch the soil, they root themselves and grow into brand new onion plants. That's why gardeners say it walks across the garden. It literally moves and replants itself without you doing anything. That self-propagating behavior makes it one of the lowest maintenance food crops you can grow. Plant it once, and in many cases, you'll keep harvesting from the same colony year after year. And this plant doesn't just give you one harvest, it gives you multiple. In spring and summer, you can harvest the green onion tops for fresh cooking. Later in the season, you can harvest the bulbils and underground bulbs as well. So instead of one short harvest window, you get food across multiple seasons. That's a huge advantage for home gardeners. Its toughness is just as impressive. Egyptian walking onion is incredibly cold hardy, surviving winter temperatures as low as -35 degrees Fahrenheit. Even during severe drought, it often goes dormant instead of dying, then rebounds once moisture returns. That kind of resilience is rare. Of course, it still has one weakness. Like many onions, it struggles in soggy, waterlogged soil. Too much moisture can cause root rot and weaken the plant over time. But in well-drained soil with decent sunlight, this crop is remarkably forgiving. Even beginner mistakes usually won't kill it. And if limited garden space is your biggest challenge, we made a full video on how to grow up to 3x more food using companion planting and smart garden layouts. Watch it after this video. The link is in the description. It can help solve one of the biggest problems home gardeners face. As impressive as walking onions are, the next plant is even tougher. In fact, killing it is harder than growing it. Number 2. Horseradish. If you're looking for a vegetable that practically refuses to die, horseradish deserves your attention. This plant is unbelievably tough. Once established, horseradish becomes so persistent that many gardeners struggle more with controlling it than growing it. And the reason comes down to what's happening underground. Horseradish develops a thick, powerful taproot that drives deep into the soil, pulling water and nutrients from layers most vegetables can't reach. That deep root system acts like a built-in survival reserve. When shallow-rooted crops start suffering during drought, horseradish often keeps going. That's a massive advantage in hot summers or in consistent watering conditions. But drought tolerance is only part of the story. What makes horseradish truly low maintenance is its ability to regenerate. Even tiny root fragments left behind after harvest can sprout into entirely new plants. In other words, harvesting it doesn't necessarily remove it, it often multiplies it. That's why many gardeners only plant horseradish once. After that, nature takes over, and when it comes to yield, this plant performs surprisingly well. A healthy patch can produce anywhere from 3 to 7 pounds of root per square yard, giving you a strong return for very little ongoing work. Maintenance is minimal too. No staking, no constant pruning, no complicated feeding schedule. A single layer of compost in early spring is usually enough. Once mature, its large, coarse leaves help shade surrounding soil, reducing weed pressure and cutting down even more work. But there's one important thing beginners should know. Horseradish may be tough, but it hates one condition: waterlogged soil. If the roots sit in heavy, saturated ground for too long, root rot becomes a serious problem. And rocky soil can create twisted, misshapen roots that are harder to harvest. So if you want the best results, loose, well-drained soil makes a huge difference. Still, even with those limitations, horseradish remains one of the most forgiving food crops you can grow. But the number one vegetable on this list is in a category of its own. It produces massive yields, survives neglect, suppresses weeds, and once you plant it, getting rid of it can become nearly impossible. Number 1. Sunchoke. If you only grow one low-maintenance, high-yield vegetable from this list, make it this one. Sunchoke, also called Jerusalem artichoke, is in a league of its own. And most gardeners still have no idea how powerful this plant really is. At first glance, sunchokes don't look like a food crop at all. They grow into tall, sunflower-like stalks that can reach 6 to 10 feet high, towering over much of your garden. But the real value is underground. Beneath those towering stalks, sunchokes produce dense clusters of edible tubers, and the yields can be astonishing. In one Ohio field trial, top-performing varieties produced over 17 pounds of tubers from a single plant. Let that sink in. 17 pounds from one plant. That kind of productivity is rare, even among high-maintenance crops. So why does sunchoke rank number 1? Because it combines 3 things almost no other vegetable offers at the same level: massive yield, extreme resilience, and minimal labor. Once planted, sunchokes behave like survival specialists. They spread through underground rhizomes, forming dense colonies that return year after year without replanting. And because they grow so aggressively, they naturally outcompete many weeds. That means less work for you. In fact, after the first few weeks of spring growth, many gardeners barely need to weed at all. Their drought tolerance is equally impressive. Sunchokes develop deep root systems that help them access moisture far below the surface. Even during dry periods, they can continue growing when other crops begin struggling. They also tolerate poor soil surprisingly well. Clay, sandy soil, average garden soil. It can adapt to all of them, as long as drainage isn't terrible. And here's something fascinating most people never hear about. Sunchokes store energy differently than potatoes. Instead of storing starch, they store a carbohydrate called inulin. When the tubers remain in cold soil after frost or sit in cold storage, that inulin naturally converts into fructose. In simple terms, cold weather makes them sweeter. That's why many gardeners intentionally wait until after the first frost to harvest. Nature literally improves the flavor for you. But there's another hidden advantage. Some commercial farms even use sunchokes as a biological trap crop. Pests are often drawn toward the sunchokes instead of nearby crops, helping reduce overall pest pressure in the garden. That's an incredible bonus. Still, this plant has one major warning. Sunchokes are almost too good at surviving. Any small tuber left in the soil can sprout into a brand new plant the following season. That means once established, removing them completely can become extremely difficult. So if you plant sunchokes, choose the location carefully. Raised beds, containers, or dedicated growing zones work best. But for sheer efficiency, few crops come close. Massive yield, minimal maintenance, extreme resilience, years of harvest. That's why sunchoke earns the number 1 spot. If low harvest from limited space is your biggest problem, we made a video showing how companion planting can help solve it. Link in the description. Like, subscribe, and comment below what you're growing this season.